Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be a generational quarterback, the cleanest prospect since Andrew Luck. But after all this time, after 5 years, his QBR ranks 17th in the league. He doesn't look good, and he's thrown almost 60 interceptions since 2021. So what the hell is going on? Jags have a 27-42 record since drafting T-Law. Now, since T-Law has entered the league, he has thrown 84 touchdowns and 58 interceptions. He has a QBR of about 53. Folks, ladies and gentlemen at home, that is awful. So what's going on? Is it Trevor Lawrence or is it Jacksonville? But first, we got to see how we got here. Coming out of Clemson, Trevor Lawrence was 34-2, had 90 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, and 164 passer rating. He was drafted #1 overall in 2021. Everybody said and agreed he is a can't miss prospect. You cannot go wrong with this guy, is what they were saying. I mean, the college dominance coming into the NFL was impressive. There was not one person in the media that I saw personally say that he is not it. Everybody was in complete agreement that Trevor Lawrence is a generational quarterback and a generational prospect who can turn your franchise around. So the Jacksonville Jaguars take him first overall. In year one, he went 3-14, had 12 touchdowns and 17 interceptions on 59% completion. It was so bad that the Jaguars ranked last in offensive EPA, and they were dead last in points per game at 14.9 a game. Obviously, the locker room was a mess. Reports were coming out saying that team meetings were getting canceled. Trevor Lawrence looked broken in those press conferences. Urban Meyer was a mess. There is no doubt about it. The Urban Meyer experiment in Jacksonville was one of the worst failures I can remember from a coach coming from college to the NFL. So they get Urban Meyer out of there, and then they bring in Doug Pederson, a Super Bowl winning coach who had a lot of success with the Philadelphia Eagles. Everybody was ecstatic about the hire. All Jacksonville fans were hyping it up. Everything seemed to be falling in place, right? Well, year two comes around, and Trevor Lawrence has 4,100 passing yards, 25 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, and a 66% completion. Now, I want you guys to remember that in the final 9 games, he went 15 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So yes, keep that in mind. While this seemed to be a good year for T-Law, just keep that in mind that he had to turn it up that much at the end to make a decent resume out of the year. This was also the year that they went to a wild card game and played the Chargers. If you remember, in that insane 27-0 comeback, they end up winning 31-30. And trust me, I'm not trying to sound like a hater, but this says more than the Chargers than it does Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars, right? This game ran their coach out of town. Brandon Staley was not the guy for the job. This was the nail that put it in the coffin. And this is a massive, massive screw up on the Chargers' part. Credit to T-Law and the Jaguars, I guess. You still have to go out there and win that game. But I think that says a lot more about the Chargers than it does the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. So if 25 touchdowns and 8 interceptions is the best year that you've had in the NFL, and that's the best you can give me, I am sorry, but that is not enough. That is not even close to enough. That is not elite quarterback level of play. That is just not. And we've watched the games, right? Screw the stat sheet, screw the box score. We've watched the games. It's hard to watch T-Law play football sometimes. I'm going to be real. It is very hard. So you do come back in an anomaly comeback that'll never happen again in your career. Now, this is his best year, so we have to compare this 2022 year to the 2022 year of his other peers. Burrow, 4,500 passing yards, 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Herbert, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Jalen Hurts, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. But he had 13 rushing touchdowns. So obviously that is a dynamic player in Jalen Hurts, so we can't really compare him too much to T-Law. And everybody was ready for T-Law to join that group of guys. But guess what? It's not going to happen, and it did not happen. In 2023 and 2024, Trevor regressed heavily. In 2023, he had 20 touchdowns and 13 interceptions, 8 fumbles, and he had the 14th best QBR in the NFL at that time. In 2024, he had 22 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, 63% completion rate, and a passer rating of 89. Now, these are very middle of the pack stats, folks. The Jaguars offense in both of those seasons ranked 17th and 20. So not even middle of the pack. You're on the bottom lower tier of offenses in the NFL if you're the Jaguars. Now let's fast forward to today, 2025. The Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence is 16th in passing yards and 32nd in passer rating. I want to put this in context for you guys so you understand just how bad Trevor Lawrence has been. The only quarterback in the NFL with a worse passer rating than T-Law right now as I record this video is Cam Ward. And Cam Ward has been playing some of the worst football I've seen out of a rookie. Obviously, he's in a hell zone in Tennessee, so I'm not gonna be too hard on him. But we're in year 5, Trevor. When is enough going to be enough? When are we going to get the promised generational QB, generational prospect, franchise turnarounder? When are we gonna see it? I mean, that passer rating is the same vicinity as Bryce Young, Dylan Gabriel, Geno Smith. I'm talking about quarterbacks who are awful and probably won't have a job next season. He's 30th in completion percentage and 28th in pass EPA. Folks, this is not middle of the pack. This isn't mid. This is straight awful. Liam Cohen's held a press conference recently last week saying we can't be trying to play to not make a mistake at all. The message for Trevor and our conversation is to just go cut it loose, let it rip, and see what happens. If you have to tell your quarterback this in year 5, I am sorry, he is not the guy. Like, that is concerning. That is very concerning. And I love Liam Cohen. I think he's a hell of a head coach. I think they hit a home run when they hired him. He just doesn't have the quarterback. And you can see the frustration on the sidelines. He wants his own guy.
Early in the season?
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely. There was a few that you'd like to have back. You know, we had Diami on a post route that we'd like to have back, that we have an opportunity there as the #1 read to take and possibly get a touchdown or an explosive. You know, there was definitely some pressure yesterday at times that may have affected some of the #1 or 2 reads in the progression that, you know, but
I think Gladstone wants his own guy. I think that the frustration level is getting up to here with T-Law, and the fact that you have to say stuff like this is a problem. Now, you can blame this on wide receiver drops and O-line issues and whatever you want, but great QBs always transcend those excuses. They always play above that. Look at Joe Burrow. He got to a Super Bowl with a horrible defense, a horrible O-line. Herbert putting up elite numbers this year with a JV O-line. Tua looks better. Tua's been one of the worst quarterbacks in recent time, and he looks better than T-Law right now. It's not close to me. And the Jags have a good roster. I can't stress this enough. They brought Jacoby Myers in. They bring in Travis Hunter, which, by the way, I think was a stupid trade because now he's out for the season. I'm not going to get into that. We'll make a video on that another day. But this is a good roster. This is a good defense. You have weapons. You have to excel. You have to make the guys around you better if you are an elite quarterback. And T-Law has not done that. In fact, I think the Jaguars have been winning in spite of T-Law. They've been winning in spite of his struggles. They're bringing him along. It should be the other way around. And why should it be the other way around? Because of how much he's getting paid. Let's talk about it. The Jags gave T-Law a $275 million contract. You're paying elite money for a below average quarterback. He's getting more money than Jared Goff, Matt Stafford, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers. He's making more money than all of these guys and severely underperforming. Fans are frustrated. Twitter is in an uproar over this, and I'm seeing it all day long, and I am not on Jags Twitter. It is coming to me. So in the first 4 years, Lawrence has 70 touchdowns and 43 interceptions. Compare that to Justin Herbert, who has 114 touchdowns and 42 interceptions. Joe Burrow, 104 touchdowns, 39 interceptions. So yes, the interceptions are relatively the same, but you're getting damn near 40 more touchdowns out of the other guys. I can live with interceptions if you're bringing in touchdowns. It comes with it. That's how it goes, right? But he's not. He is not bringing in touchdowns like that, and he is underperforming. Numbers do not lie. He is not in that tier, and forget about that tier. That ship has sailed. You're now fighting for a title about being a capable starting quarterback, like a manageable starting quarterback. That's what you're fighting for now. You're not fighting for being top tier and mentioned in a group with these guys. You're fighting to not be a backup at this point, in my opinion. Look at Mac Jones, even Davis Mills. Like, in my opinion, these guys look better right now. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I know. Jags fans are not going to want to hear it. T-Law defenders are not going to want to hear it, but I'm going to keep it real 100% of the time. Mac Jones is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence right now. And if I had to build a team, pick a quarterback out of the two to build my team around, in my opinion, it's not even close. I'm going to take Mac Jones, and I bet you GMs around the NFL would agree with me. You have every tool in the shed to be an elite generational quarterback, the arm talent, the height, the mobility, but it's just not happening, and it's been a long time. Regardless of the coaching carousel and everything around you, great quarterbacks transcend all of that. And he is not a great quarterback. He is a mid to below mid quarterback. And that is a problem when you're making more money than guys who are ripping the league apart. Old dudes who are just putting Matt Stafford's having an MVP level season. He is breaking records and he's underpaid. The results have not matched the hype. And I'm gonna be honest, folks, I don't think they ever will. I think that the rest of this year is make or break for Trevor Lawrence. And regardless of if he plays well or bad, he will be their quarterback next year too, because they paid him. Now they're stuck with him. But I guarantee you, if next season does not get better, he is not going to be the Jaguars quarterback, and I don't know what team will take a chance on him. That is my take on it, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about my take on T-Law. Give me your take on T-Law in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. The support means the world. We are building the channel up. It's been your boy Dave, man. Peace.